Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today at Answers from the Universe. We're going to have a wonderful show. I have Peter the Insider with me, and we're going to discuss some of the latest updates, and we're going to keep you updated. We now have a YouTube channel, Jessica Ariel Morocco. You can find all of the YouTubes there, Answers from the Universe, the Andronicus transmissions, and special reports. As of right now, we may add more. So over and above that, we've been connected to Will Spirit Radio, but we will be, working also independently, taking on, providing you with new and updated information regularly. So we won't be prohibitive as far as getting out things more on a timely basis, as opposed to having to wait. So without further delay, I don't want to take up too much of the time. We're going to get right into the latest updates and news. Today is June 3rd, 2018. And just to keep everyone up to date, hello, Peter. How are you?
Hello to you and hello to everybody, considering all the crazy circumstances. Good, thank you for asking.
Okay, so I know that all of the stuff going on is keeping you very busy. And there's so much happening that we don't have enough time of the day to discuss everything, but we're going to keep focused on the discussion will relate to what is the most important of all topics. And so how would you like to begin, Peter? Did you want to, I'll just hand it over to you. You can give us, start with either is it Mobius or the Federal Army of Canada? Or where do you want to start?
To be perfectly honest, it's so mutually connected together that I don't know where should we start. We need to
maybe defining both of them, but defining each one and who they are.
Yes. Okay. So we realized some basic facts. Or respectively, we need to realize some basic facts. Group of young people, they were kept as a prisoners in DUMB, what is like deep underground military bases, under V4, we are calling it in Middle Eastern Europe, 4 states. Czech, Slovak Republic, Poland, and Hungary, and there were freed many of these people. Now they are like more than 100 of them. So we were deeply thinking that they were so very, so very well, or how can I say that, so very good guarded, and now suddenly they can be freed. Literally, they can be, because it's something like that only if monarch want something, respectively allow something to do, it can happen. And okay, doesn't matter, it happened. It happened on February 21st this year, so I'm talking about like 2018. And some of them, it starts like from 19th, February 19th, right? And the biggest group was freed in 21st. But it doesn't matter. And I was thinking, okay, that's good, but there is some bigger purpose. Well, and that's the reason why I am talking about stuff. I don't want to say that it's not the reason, but it's like almost 3 months old. And then, afterwards, we in ACIO realize what the heck is going on there, because these young people, all of them have special abilities, almost something like Special Agent of Shield or Marvel Agents of Shields or something like that, you know. And they have their own missions to do or to accomplish without knowing that. Respectively, if not them, then their B, C, or D reflections. I mean, I'm talking about like from second, third, respectively, fourth reality, right? And and that's the fact. Another very interesting fact that they was up to faced side by face to face. I'm talking like vis-a-vis, you know, with their own clones. I don't want to say clones, but
So
im
androids? Were they androids?
images of from another realities.
Oh, okay.
And immediately afterwards, very weird activity was marked in Canada. I'm talking about like in eastern coast of Canada. I was like, and we were like, okay, what the heck is going on there in Newfoundland, you know, and this all these kind of provinces, and afterwards we realized that there was built huge bases with marks. I mean, like science we never saw, never before, you know. And we were like, okay, what is that? And
Technology, you mean? You saw technology there, or you said
no,
marks or
science. I mean, marks,
signs?
like,
Okay.
yeah, something like that. And we were like, okay, what these guys are up to do there? And then they made some huge balls. There were vacuum and some sort of very weird ass plasma, and they extracted people to this vacuum balls, respectively tubes. They were two basic shapes, tubes and the balls, right? And they enhanced these people, if you want to call it that way, to cyborgs, right?
Right.
And so this was the first place, and second place, respectively, second option was sorry for that, as you mentioned, these androids. And we were like, okay, they are some FAs. There is some organization called FNC, some FAC, some sort of weird soldiers. Not a big deal.
Federal
But
Army of Canada.
yes, Federal Army of Canada. Only one month after we noticed them, they have everything official. Federal Army of Canada. This very weird sign, I mean symbol, all kind of stuff. We contacted immediately. We contacted Canadian officials. I'm talking like in government, and they were like, it's not a big deal. They are just another army. And I was like, okay, are you serious? It's another army on your soil, and you are telling me like that's okay. But I leave it behind, you know. It's okay for them, and it's okay that for me, then for me, it's okay too. But the problem is that in just 2 months, 2.5 months, from like 120 thousands, they raise up to 3.5 millions. What is technically of soldiers? What is technically 10 percent of all Canadians, I mean all inhabitants of Canada, right? Just by the way. And then started to happen very strange thing that they started to move from east to west coast. So they are still moving through the Canadian inland. They are avoiding big cities, I mean crowded cities, frequent motorways, I mean like highways, roads, and they are like from, I don't know, like from another dimension. We never saw something like that. They have drones, like, this is some next level shit. I was thinking about that when once I saw these drones, and these cars, they don't have normal wheels. They looked like wheels, but they are not wheels. They can make, I mean, they are moving via wheels, but they can make from themselves a belt, like, like tanks have belts in just a few seconds, so they can move via, I don't know, via snow, I mean towards the snow. Do you know what I mean? Something like that. So this is it. And
so Peter, these are not humans. These are they're another species and androids, or are they all androids? Or what do you think that they are?
I don't know. I don't know, to be perfectly honest. I don't know.
So we don't know if they're androids. They wouldn't need like food, a lot of food. They wouldn't need a lot of water. I don't know what they would need.
Yes.
So
And
they could be mobile.
just by the way, this because there is something strange, as I said, that these wheels on these cars, because I will talk about androids later, please, okay? They look like wheels, and they can make belts from, like, 2 or 3 seconds. And there is another very interesting thing, that they have a lateral wheels in very front end, at very end of the car, and they can do turns practically in one place. And they can, how can I say that, set perimeter, and in this perimeter everything disappear. We don't know how and when it will end, these things, but everything disappear. I'm talking everything, like, how can I say that, like if you are playing strategy game and you have nothing, like, no, I'm not talking about houses, trees, snow, or grass, or ground. I'm talking like soil. You have simply nothing. Everything went away, disappear. And they did it at least 3 or 4 times while we were watching them. I don't know if they just tested, or if they made it for some specific reason, just on these places where they made it. And then happened something strange. The androids you told about, they started to spray some very weird, I don't know, matter. It looked like an amber. Do you know what I mean? This stone, amber.
Yeah. It's kind of like a orangey color, but transparent looking.
Yes.
Yeah.
And immediately, I'm talking about few seconds, buildings I am talking about environment, completely new stuff. Factories were formed out of nothing. You know, when
Wow.
we were like, "What?
Is
Are
that
you
like
serious?"
like a type of plasma or this amber stuff?
Yes, amber plasma and these cars, if you wanna call it that way, they looked respectively. We figured out that they are something like huge 3D printers.
Hmm. Yeah, I saw a weird plasma, I think 2 weeks ago. It was a different
Yes,
color. Yeah. Okay.
and uh, one few people was, because from my point of view they were fools, and they made a video, very close video footage then, where these two androids were talking to each other, and he just one of them, he just got the sample by 2 fingers and tasted, and he told like, that's so tasty. And was like, this can be tasty, okay, screw that. Yes, but we
Yeah,
don't
that's just
we
weird.
don't
Yeah.
yeah, we don't know what is tasty for them and what is not. you know
Right. Right. I mean, to a vehicle, motor oil is, right?
yeah, I don't know because they are robots technically, so I
Yeah.
don't know their way of thinking. So first units, respectively first few divisions, are at the destination. And what is, I mean, like, where is their destination? It's Alaskan inland, and there are 6 spots in Alaskan inland. They are, how can I call it normal way, no-go zones. So there is like uh, this huge these huge uh,
Icebergs or
how can I say that, these huge fences. I'm talking like big
fences?
fences.
Okay.
I'm thinking about like 10 maybe 12 feet fences. So it's like 3 maybe 3.5 meter high fences, and with electrified wires on, and there are in few languages like no trespassing, uh, I mean like warning, and there is a zone, like there are chips, and once you stood on the chip, you are pretty much screwed, because they are auto machines. I'm talking like machine guns, and they will start open fire. No warning. Bye bye.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. I
Hmm.
saw that. I saw that because a group of um, uh, you know very well experienced hunters were hunting, respectively went on a hunt of a deer, and one of them, he was just tracking a deer, because of trap. He knows where the traps were set, and they were like, because another three of them were stayed in the car, and we make a video footage, and he was like, what is
Like
that?
that just showed up. It wasn't there before.
Yeah, because he was like, it was we were there, we were three, or I don't know, he told 2 weeks ago there, and it wasn't there. What the heck is going on? He made just one fucking step. I don't want to watch my language, because it was one step and he was, you know, like thrown upside down because of this machine gun, and they were like, what? And they drive the car like in Fast and Furious, you know,
Yeah,
because they
try to
were
get
so fear.
away. What
Yeah,
happened? That guy
because
got killed, or
of course, because you
yeah.
know this machine gun.
Wow.
I
Wow,
mean,
that's
I don't
horrifying.
know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say he was killed because I contacted him personally. I contacted them, and they told me that he survived, but it was so crazy, and he was hit. I don't know how many times, but he has he had some armor on himself, you know,
Oh, yeah.
because
Yeah.
of bears and you know all kind of the
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Yeah.
So these kind of crazy things are happening in Alaska, you know.
Wow. Well, it's so remote. A lot, you can get away with a lot.
Yeah,
But
it is.
nobody knows where they're from. They just showed up there, and um, you have. Did you say Prince Harry has a clone there too, or
No,
that's
no,
something
you are
else?
not. You are not right. You are not
I had
right.
that information confused. Okay.
Uh, no, no. Prince Harry actually is in Canada, actually, and
Oh,
he's how can I say that? He is managing all these operations, and clone of him is now in UK.
so he's the one that got the clone is the one that got married.
Technically, it does, yes, but technically it doesn't matter because either himself, I'm talking like the real one or the clone, they, it's not a big deal for them.
Yeah.
And do you know what's the craziest stuff? That Megan will not recognize the difference
Right.
because
Hmm.
these clones are, you know, they are so perfect. They made them so perfect.
Right.
This
So
is
so then if Harry's involved in what's going on there, so there's an alliance. Are these the tall whites, or who are they then that are behind this, or is this Mobius?
yes, Mobius are no Mobi not Mobius themselves. Mobius are involved there because they are, I don't know how many key people of Mobius with CyberLife.
Okay, so all right. So CyberLife is the one that created these androids.
Is creating these androids
Creating
because
the
they can
androids. It's an army
because
of androids.
because yes, because technically they can make how many they want. That's the problem.
And they make them very, very realistic looking, extremely realistic looking.
Yes, but I was thinking about some moral stuff, um, because this is the problem, and they can't kill them just like that because you know they are very goddamn good at everything, far better than any single hybrid or crossbreed. So, what do you think? Can machine have feelings or not?
Well, I think it's whether or not they have a soul. I think that to me would be more important. If they don't have a soul, then I have a problem with it. Although some of my visions and the things that I've been seeing is they're actually looking for vessels for ETs to come in. So then it appears that they have a soul because it has this kind of life form operating into their thoughts and their conversations. Is this happening already? Because it looks like, even like when people go through traumas or like near death experiences, sometimes there's a walk-in energy entity. And I'm wondering if the walk-in entities are going into these androids.
Yes, because so many, I and that's the problem. That's the problem.
Right.
I met uh, many androids, and because, okay, I need to be honest. I met many androids in my past life. But problem is, how can I say that? Like, for example, okay, for example, from the ending of this February of this year, so I'm talking like March, April, May, so it's like 3.5 months, something like that. I met approximately the same amount of androids than I met in my whole previous life here, land down under in Australia. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Something is wrong, you know. And
Yeah,
here,
too
land down
many of them.
under,
Yeah,
yeah,
too
land
many.
down under. It's not a coincidence. And what's the, I don't know. It's so weird because I think that at least it seems they have some sort of feelings, you know. But on one hand, but on the other hand, mm, they are machines, you know,
Yeah.
because
So
they are
the body's machine, but you don't know what the energy is that's in them. People
yeah,
talk. Yeah.
because they are telling the stuff exactly as in this game, you know, that it is not only about how can I say that, frequency. I'm talking like about power of processor, you know, and all RAM, and I mean RAM. I'm talking
Data,
like,
able to retrieve data and knowledge.
yeah, I mean like random access memory and all kind of stuff and graphics. No, it is like they are telling me it was a very good book from our. I am talking about. She is not well known in other parts of the world. Uh, Tanya Vasilkova. She's from my motherland, from my homeland, from Slovakia, and she wrote a book with very, you know, like philosophic questions. Um, you need it once you read it, you was forced to ask yourself philosophy, very many of philosophic questions, and the name of the book is Love is uh, error, system error. I was like, you know,
Yeah.
and this is like,
And so they were talking like that, kind of like they had like an deep understanding of life.
no, that's the problem that I the androids I met, they were like, how can I say that, risking people life for each other, love, but I am not talking about sex, because nowadays people are, he's talking about love, so it's sex, not like that. I am talking about how can I say that, pure feeling. Do you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like
Yeah.
feeling love and all kind of these positive emotions. So they were talking about them like as a good stuff, but very hard to understand, you know.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
so that's the problem, and I think that it's good that they are able to feel positive emotions. I don't know, I really don't know uh, what will be the case, or respectively how will they solve it once these androids, they were built, they were made as soldiers, once they will start to feel this kind of feelings, emotions, that will be an interesting story. What do you think, huh?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think humans should not be tricked, or deceived in any way. I mean, to me, this would be extremely upsetting if I met some people, or I was, you meet, you hear about someone, going in on a romantic situation with someone, and they're not human. I mean, that's horrifying.
Why do you think it's horrifying once they are, how can I say that? They are honest.
Once they're honest, they need to be honest before. You need to know before.
No. I'm talking about that. For example, that they are starting to build something. I'm talking about, like, they are starting to make some moves. Like that it can develop to a relationship and all kind of stuff. But the ones who are not people, but who are not humans, sorry for that, but they are androids, they simply tell that, sorry for that, but I am an android, and that's the problem, because they are very honest. And I don't know, it's so weird. Everything is so complicated these days.
Yeah, well, I think that's to some, humans have to be able to know the truth of what's going on. And, it's just, nobody wants to be tricked. I mean, nobody wants to even be with a certain species unless they're aware of it. Say if
You are right.
reptilian is, or someone's
But for example, I don't want to say that they are bad ones, but sometimes once they want something from you, they can be very tricky. Lyrants, also called cat people, and for example, at least from our point of view, I'm talking about in ACIO, we considering and them as good ones, as good race. And for
Right.
example, Princess Diana and Kate, I'm talking about the Duchess from Cambridge.
Yeah.
They are both Lyran.
Okay, so because of the Lyran, it gives them, they have more access to knowledge and information as opposed to regular humans. So it gives them an edge. But they could manipulate too, just like any species. To them, the humans are less informed and have less insight, so they take advantage of it at times. We know that.
Yes, you are right.
Yeah.
You are right.
So, getting back to, so we have this Federal Army of Canada that popped out of nowhere. No one knows who they are. The government of Canada didn't have any record or knowledge of it. And
they are like, okay, it's not a big deal, it's not a problem. And I was like, seriously?
Yeah. So
crap.
Their Secret Service knows about them. They're looking at it.
Of course, they are okay, okay, not a big deal. And I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, so let's explain who Mobius is, because people are listening. We're putting out terms out there, and they don't know who Mobius is.
Yeah, Mobius is a private corporation. Just by the way, another one of I don't want to say only monarch, right? Because there are another of them. They are like Kruger, and because bad are only Mobius, as you mentioned, then Monarch and Umbrella, and another three of them, Kruger, Shoreline, and Ultimate, are good, actually good ones, and they are. I am talking like these six are the largest DoD help me Department of Defense, of course, U.S. Department of Defense contractors, and the Mobius. What Mobius did? They did.
But they're not from the U.S. They're from the U.K. You said.
Yes, Mobius is from UK, and Cyberlife is from UK too. Just by the way, this is very weird.
Right, but both of them are coming over to the U.S.
No, you are not right. They have only, respectively, they are only building branches in US,
right.
because they are settled now, respectively. They are moving from UK to Canada. That's big difference. That's big difference.
Okay.
So what are they doing? Mobius, they created some sort of matrix. They call it STEM. I mean, like with STEM, STEM, you know. And they can do practically whatever they want. It's like as you go back 20 years back, respectively 15, something like that, when all the three Matrix movies were made, and pretty much you watch it and you can imagine what else they can do, with your mind, with your consciousness.
How is Keanu Reeves, just to bring up quickly the Matrix, how is Keanu Reeves related to some of these programs? Is he connected to Mobius or any of them?
Technically, Keanu Reeves helped them to build the core of the STEM, because he had some very weird DNA profile. What technically even we can't do. We can't identify it. We even can't call it DNA. It's something very strange. We are calling DNA, but it's something like, for example, how can I say that? Lyran people, but they are not Lyran. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, it's another species, yeah.
Yeah, it's, how can I say that? They are Lyran, but they are not people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is it. Yeah.
So he contributed a lot to that, opening people up and awakening them about how the matrices operate, at least some of them.
Yes. Right? This is it. Yes, and they got allowance to make these movies. Do you know what I mean?
For permission to do so.
Yep, exactly.
Who did they get permission from?
From my point of view, from both companies. I'm talking like, both corporations, from Mobius and Cyberlife.
Okay.
Because there will be no logic to make it. But do you know what's the stuff? 99% of people, they don't get it. They like the Matrix because it's action movie. That's crazy.
Right. But they still try to figure out, and a lot of people refer to the red pill, the blue pill, as, making a decision to be awakened or not awakened. And so it does, the symbolism of everything. And I often see, people quote from different points of the movie. And it's really, really interesting.
Yes, you are right. So the stuff is that they are doing some very dirty things in these six Alaskan inland areas, if you wanna call it that way, and and these, can I say that, a- hybrid animals are coming from there, and it's so weird. For example, these I'm talking like, huge polar bears, because these areas are not guarded by, soldiers or something. They are guarded by huge polar bears. This is absolutely crazy. They are like 15 feet, high. It's like about like 4.5 meters high, and they are huge, and of course white polar bears, and they are attacking, because they are animals, so you know they are attacking everything, and in addition, they are bulletproof.
Wow.
So you can shoot them, but you can't kill them with normal, I don't know, how can I say that, a pistol, or I don't know, like uh, machine gun, or I don't know, sniper rifle. You can't kill them, because these are not like, some random ass bullshit. No, all these things are reports, very fresh reports. I'm talking like last month, maybe last 6 weeks, from inhabitants of Alaskan inlands. That they are these polar bears just walking around. That's crazy.
Wow, that is really crazy.
Yeah.
So there's all this, like, really, and this happened when they showed up approximately. When did that happen? Was it in January, as you said, or when did they show up in Alaska, the Federal Army of Canada?
They showed up. Problem is that these no-go zones showed up in Alaska in the very end of February this year, and it was like only 1 or 2 weeks afterwards, and FAC showed up there.
Do you have an idea of what the purpose or what the interest that CyberLife has with all of these androids, or is it Mobius that has the idea and they've contracted CyberLife?
Problem is that people will not notice, because some of some few tens, maybe few hundreds of thousands of androids will be what, infiltrated, we wanna call it that way, infiltrated into random people. They will have children, believe me, they will have children. Even the, can I say that, android mother, do you know what I mean, android female, is able to give birth to the child. So this will be really crazy, believe me.
Wow. Okay, so what kind of child kind of child would that be?
That's a question. We don't know, but it will be some sort of next level, cyborg. But we don't know, because they will, at least from our best guess, I'm talking our like in ACIO, they will be not targeting people. I'm talking like humans, but especially EDs, uh, hybrids and crossbreeds, right? So at least from our point of view, I'm talking like people's, sorry, humans' point of view, good news.
So that humans won't be targeted. These other species will be targeted as well as the
No,
android.
no, I'm talking about once again, okay. I'm talking about that humans will be not targeted, respectively, only like marginally targeted.
And okay.
And the main target uh, will be hybrids, crossbreeds, and ETs. I'm talking like extraterrestrials, okay,
Yeah.
like that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because they believe that human DNA is not worth to to test with, to deal with, something like
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good for us. It's definitely
It
good.
leaves the humans alone. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but on one hand, but on the other hand, uh, it's just a little bit uncomfortable to live with something like that in one planet.
Right. I mean, we being forced to live with androids. I mean, why is this being imposed on us?
I don't know. I don't know. Technically, I don't know the whole purpose. Why the heck are the androids all around us? I don't know.
Yeah, it feels like there's something more to them than that. They just look like androids. Maybe they're some other species had created, wanted to bring in another race or something. And because for them to procreate and be able to procreate with humans, sounds like they got pretty close to our DNA to be able to
Yeah,
do
but
that.
but tell me what's the deal with this emotions thing? Because many people told me that androids, they are not tricking them and blah blah blah, and but the stuff is that can have real emotions.
But they can have emotions if there's other ET species that are if they're walk-ins. If there's walk-ins, they're going to have a lot of emotions and a lot of knowledge of history and even other dimensional space. They're going to be like, walking around with a perfect looking body, right? And perfect looking face because everything's highly symmetrical.
Yeah, and
And
that's sorry for interrupting you, but many people told me that this is, how can I say that, like a red alert for them, that normal people are not symmetric, because it's the way how we are
right.
humans, that we are
Hmm.
not unsymmetric. But once everything is so perfect, they are not people. I mean,
Yeah,
they are
if you
not
see
humans.
someone that has like it's the video games. If you look at the video games and the faces, I'm noticing that seems to be their model that they use, sort of like a roundish looking face and kind of a very small nose.
Yes, yes,
Eyes are,
you are
yeah,
absolutely right. It's something like with the Chloe, and the
yeah,
Chloe from Monarch. I mean, she was kept for many years by Monarch. She was seriously pissed off because another clone of her was showed as, how can I say that, main menu girl, just by face, but it doesn't matter. And as by the same name, Chloe, and she was like, why the heck they did that. And technically, the actual name of company was mentioned too, the Cyberlife. That's
Hmm.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah. And so the names of the video games that display some of this Mobius and Android. What are the
Yeah,
video games?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's soft disclosure, right?
The video game is Detroit Become Human.
Mm-hmm.
There was Cyberlife mentioned, and another game where technically they can do practically whatever they want because they created the STEM, what is theirs sort of, like STEM is their sort of matrix. What the name of the game was Evil Within, you know.
Right.
And believe it or not, the character from this game, I'm talking about Detroit Become Human, Kara is just only she's using just by like her first name. Uh, 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 she's CEO of Mobius, and Chloe, she's actually CEO of Cyberlife. And this is everything of this is so mutually connected and bounded. It's so
They're
obvious.
exposing what they're doing. Yeah. So you said Chloe, was it Kara is Kara Sandman? She's the one that's over
Yeah,
Moby,
yeah,
the
yeah.
CEO
Kara
of,
Sandman, Kara
and,
Sandman.
and Chloe is over Cyberlife. I don't know what her last name was. You didn't, I don't know if you mentioned that or not.
Uh, give me a sec. I need to see. I need to look for it up. Give me a sec.
Yeah.
I
But
need to.
they're a display. And if you notice, their faces look very similar. So maybe that's not their original bodies, but that's what they wanted to look like.
Yes, yes, you are
Yeah.
absolutely
That's
right.
like a prototype of this, similar look. And I've seen actually, I think I saw like an image of a Pleiadian had a very similar look, but with pointed ears. There's pictures out there here and there, even,
Yes, you are
pictures
right.
of Semyase pictures have a similar look when you think about it.
Yes, you are
So,
absolutely right.
yeah.
Absolutely right.
So,
Absolutely right.
unfortunate. Yeah. But they're trying to find what I think humans consider an ideal as far as appearance and
Sorry, who? Sorry, who?
what humans consider an ideal for an appearance in a
Okay.
female. I haven't seen what the male version is, but the female
Uh-huh.
version
Okay.
needs to be consistent. Maybe you can provide that, but it's maybe an acceptable appearance that everyone somewhat thinks is attractive. And for
Okay. I got it finally. Sorry for that. Help me. I forgot the name. So the fact is that she's running the same name. I'm talking about Chloe uh, as Kara, but with not with K, but with C. The model, and I don't know what is she, everything like actress and all kind of stuff. Cara Delevingne, just by the
Levine,
way.
yeah, which, yeah.
But she's Chloe Delevingne. This is absolutely
Ah,
crazy.
okay. Yeah, that
Isn't
makes
this
sense.
isn't this crazy?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and it keeps on coming up, and we've been noticing this for a while. Especially Cara Delevingne. People have had dreams of her, and
Yeah.
have talked about how she would show up and do different things, and I've seen her in visions. Someone that whether it's an aspect of her, but yeah, if she's over that corporation, they have a way of projecting themselves into the field of consciousness. I don't
Yeah.
know how they do that, but it's disturbing actually, and they need to. I think they're going to get in a lot of trouble doing that, and they're hiding, through these cyborg. or not cyborg, android bodies, but they still have a life essence there that they can
Yep.
get them in a lot of trouble. But
Yeah,
anyhow,
you were right. Yeah.
yeah.
So this is, how can I say that, the fact is that, can I say that, that they are mixing the first names and second names with actual real deal names of known, very well known people and all kind of stuff, because Sandman, he was, I don't know, like senator, and his uh, his uh, his cousin was well-known judge, because he
Hmm.
he he gave a lot of punishments. I'm talking like many years of prison for mobs. I'm talking like, Italian mafia in help me, in Michigan. Just by the way, because all these the games is the all the can I say that the storyline is set in Detroit, what is in Michigan, so everything is tied up together. This is not coincidence.
Yeah. And you also said that Michigan is a place, Detroit is a place where through the game, it shows all of these androids. The CyberLife literally used Michigan, so they're actually as a experiment, and so there actually are
Yep.
androids there. That's what you said to me
Yeah,
earlier.
but do you know why? Because it's very easy. Because from at least from my point of view, um, who after Detroit's economy uh, Detroit's economy crashed, uh, in when it happened, 2000, where, uh, 2013, something like
Yeah,
that. Am I
the car
right?
industry went down. Was it the Ford manufacturing plant, or what was it over there? I forget what some of the industrial stuff that they were doing.
Yeah,
And
yeah. In 2013, everything crashed. So no one wants to live in Detroit, as you said. It's something like to new people, newcomers will set around, respectively, inside the city of Chernobyl, or of Fukushima. No, no one
yeah,
wants
yeah, it's
wants to
almost like
live
nobody
there.
wanted to be there. Yeah.
Yes, and there are many newcomers in last 5 years in Detroit, because as you said, it's like to get the new house and a new property for $1.
Well, yeah, I don't know if it's like that, but it's definitely cheaper. And but so there's androids there right now, which is
Yes,
weird.
I'm talking about the cooperation of Mobius and Cyberlife. They choose Detroit as what, their area of experiment,
Yeah. Yeah.
something
So it
like
looks
that.
like, yeah, it looks like we're winding down, and this is the end of the hour. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
we're going to be doing a lot more of this and discussing more about what's going on. So I want to say thank you, Peter, for
Thank
all
you
of
very
your
much.
information and being willing to share with us the knowledge that you have and keeping us updated. Is there any last? Do you want people to connect with you, or what would you like to do?
I think that it's good as it is for now, because I'm very busy
Okay.
last few
Yeah.
months.
Well, we'll keep updated, and thank you for your time and your devotion to providing information for people. And I want to say thank you to all our listeners. Continue to listen in. We're not going away. We're just growing in different ways. And so keep following us. We will be alive and aware and providing information in the future. Continuing on at YouTube, Jessica Ariel Morocco, and that's Marrocco, and also still be playing pre-recorded shows on World Spirit Radio. So bye for now. Thank you, Peter. Have a great day, and thank you to all those that are listening.